There's a lot of baseball left, but what he's put out there right now, Jed's done as good a job as any general manager or president of the baseball ops or whatever his title is in all of Major League.
Good morning, Tommy. How are you?
Do we need to call Craig? Do we?
Sal! Could you imagine what that sounds like? I would like for Vince Vetrano to be on the show so you could tell him that instead of you yelling down the line to do Vince Vetrano like some kind of party call.
I know the senior director of content.
Okay.
His name is Daniel Zetterman.
Tell him
You sounded a little bit like the Cubs manager there, Jonathan.
Well, that's me every morning, deflated with this guy. I mean, that's where we are. I mean, and by the way, we got Vintage Council after a thrilling victory yesterday.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a center fielder.
I mean, Tommy.
Yeah,
they're winning. They're winning the games. They're way up on the Brewers, 6.5 this morning.
You know what, though? That's kind of how he was when they were down 6.5 last year to the Brewers. So at least he's consistent. You know?
Listen.
I think inside Hoodie, I don't think there's any doubt. Like, he has to be thrilled. Obviously he is, not just with the position that they are in the Central, but how they're playing is just – I mean, it's look, you know where my allegiance lies. Allegiance lies. It lies with a team in the same division. This team is so much fun to watch. I don't care where your fandom lies. If you can't acknowledge this team and how much energy and excitement they bring, then you're just lying to yourself.
He does need me to get him an appointment at sinusandsnoringmd.com. Holy cow. What is with the breathing? He's in good shape.
Yes, I understand.
Skin color.
Are you all in, Cap? Or are you not all in? I mean, whether it's on the field or at the podium, are you in or are you not?
I am all in. Every day I live life all in. I'm in. Just one batter, one pitch, one out at a time.
Boy, you were
and let's see where we're at.
You were taking swipes at him early in the year, weren't you?
One time, and I was angry, and it blew up on me because it was on Barstool too, and then I got a call from over there, and they're like, dude, really? He's not overrated, and guess what? That's what it costs to get him. He's not grossly overpaid.
Grossly overpaid.
How can you
manager of the Chicago Cubs?
I was mad. So was Sylvie. We were both mad at the bullpen the first 2 weeks.
I get it. I mean, you guys have both been mad at Jed as well, but like right now, I think outside of PCA, isn't Jed having the best year on the north side of anybody?
Yes.
I mean, like, past decisions aside, if you just focus in on 2025, like, Jed's done as good a job. And again, there's a lot of baseball left, but what he's put out there right now, Jed's done as good a job as any general manager or president of baseball ops or whatever his title is in all of Major League.
I think that what Jed is presiding over is kind of like I made the parallel, Tom, of what Ryan Poles went through in the offseason. Knowing that, yes, I have a new coach and new coaching staff, but I got to do whatever it takes to be able to bolster this roster. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman, I have to do it because I can't get my quarterback killed. Same thing here with Jed. Last year of his contract, I have never seen so many DFAs so early in the season. Like, yep, you had one shot at this, back to the minors or DFA'd. I just think that Jed understood, like, hey, man, if we go through another season, no playoffs since 2020, it's going to be my ass.
You know, sometimes too, Hoodie, it's beyond the control of a general manager, and regardless of sport. You know, I was having this conversation yesterday. I think what I said was a little misconstrued. I'm not suggesting that the Cubs being whatever, it's 17 games over 500, it's 70-plus games into the season, is pure luck. What I'm saying to you is a special season like this, everything kind of has to fall into place for you, especially if you're not the Dodgers. And referencing the Dodgers, Tanner Scott, how does Pomerantz look versus Tanner Scott right now? Like, nobody thought Tanner Scott was going to struggle the way he did because you gave him a massive offer. Nobody thought Pomerantz, who hasn't thrown a baseball in 3 years or 4 years, was going to go without an earned run in 17 or 18 appearances. Sometimes, you know, like Jed's the one that even said it last year. Hey, and we gave him hell for it. What we need is our guys to exceed expectations. Well, sometimes that's what it takes to be good the way that they're good. Seiya stayed healthy and has been a great run producer. Nico is healthy and playing maybe his best baseball. PCA is making you think about Ken Griffey Jr. right now. Palencia looks like Class A. Like, what is it? The kid or the lefty Thielbar has got a 1.7 ERA, hit a 5.50 last year.
Yeah.
This has been a brilliant ride for the last 70. How far it goes? I think Sylvie asked the question yesterday about, compared it in a different way to maybe the 2018 Bears. Because maybe some of that wasn't. I don't know that that's, obviously it ended up in a double doink, but everything fell into place for that team and everyone was pulling on the same end of the rope. And sometimes that's the beauty of a season like this so far. Here's hoping it continues, but this has been fun as hell to watch.
In terms of what they need to add, yes, it's easy to say, go get a number one starter. Jim Bowden put the dumbest trade proposal out there yesterday about weird. 2 of your top prospects, another prospect, and Cade Horton to go get Sandy Alcantara.
No.
Jed's not going to do that. No. I don't think he's going to trade Jackson Wiggins, who I believe that they, I haven't watched him pitch, they believe he's their number one pitching prospect in their system.
Full disclosure, first, Cap, I wouldn't know Jackson Wiggins if he was sitting next to me with a Jackson Wiggins jersey on. So I'm just going to have to take your word for it.
But you would know who Alan Wiggins is because he's dead.
Oh, yes, yeah.
You know who Andrew Wiggins is because he can play hoop.
Yeah.
So my point is, other than the obvious, we'd love Chris Sale or we'd love this guy or that guy. What else do they need? I believe they need to go get a really, really good bench bat down the stretch. That's what I think.
Look, I mean, you follow this team more closely than I, so I would rely on you for this as opposed to me. But I don't. I would still say starting pitching, and I know there's going to be a ton of teams in that market, but you're going to need a starter, aren't you? I mean, at some point, Matthew Boyd isn't he gonna have a little bit of a lull? That's another thing. No one thought when Justin Steele went down that you were gonna find somebody that could step in and pitch like him. And Boyd has pitched every bit as good as Justin Steele. Shota being out hasn't helped you. I think at some point, Cap, aren't you gonna need another starter despite how guys have filled in and rallied?
Yeah, it's amazing that since Shota went down and Cade Horton drops in the rotation, I think they're 6-1, maybe 5-2. I mean, nobody thought you would be able to just pretty much cover 2 months with no Shota.
It's crazy. And you know what happened too is that when you don't get the standard quality start, what happens? Your bats are alive, so you're going to score more runs, or your bullpen has come in. And that bullpen, since April, you guys probably have the numbers. It's been as good
April
or better than
14, I believe. Yeah. Number one bullpen in baseball.
Just
With
keep
the fine
chugging.
Manager of the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, you are a bandwagoneer.
That's exactly what he is.
No, because he's always been a Cub fan, but I got such a kick out of, I was driving my daughters to the train yesterday and Cap was screaming at you about the man in the glass.
No, man in the mirror.
Well, you said man in the glass at one point, too.
You did say the glass, yes.
Yeah. So, I think that's kind of rude, Cap, to all the Cub fans. Is it okay for Cub fans, diehard Cub fans, to be a little itchy and scratchy about certain things? And while they may be all in, maybe they still have some reservations. I think it was an unfair characterization of Cub fans.
I didn't paint all Cub fans with that brush, Thomas. I simply said, don't come around here. You fan how you want to fan. But when you come around here in September and we're 9 games up and clinching a division and puffing our chest out, we're headed into the playoffs as a 1 or 2 seed in the National League. When you look at the mirror, you're the man in the mirror or to the woman in the mirror, you're going to know deep down you weren't all in.
So you should just be a mouth-breathing sycophant for the entire season instead of actually having some deep baseball thoughts.
No,
and maybe
you can have the deep baseball thoughts because Lord knows I did when I blasted Craig Counsell 2 months ago. But guess what? Your heart has to be all in. Don't give me that.
Your heart can be in, Cap, and you could still have questions about certain things.
I'm not disputing that fact with you. I agree. But be all in. Don't tell me, I'm kind of watching. I don't want to get sucked in yet. I'll start watching after the All-Star.
I love you like a brother. I love you like a brother, Cap, but only you could suck the joy out of one of the most fun starts to an NFL.
There's no joy sucked out, kid.
There is.
I am all in, and I'm loving it every day. Win or lose. Grab a cup of coffee and find a way to win a damn baseball game. Period. Day after day.
Didn't he leave his coffee at home today, Jonathan?
I forgot it in the garage.
Bet against the Cubs tonight.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I've got a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I asked my partner to buy me one as I'm pulling in the garage. He stiffed me, so I had to go back
I did
down
not
and buy a
stiff
cup
you.
of coffee.
I'll knock your ass out. I don't know who you think you're talking to in here. I ain't
Said he couldn't hear me.
I ain't one of your little friends in Highwood. I'll knock your ass out.
I don't live in.
Yeah, no. I said one of your little friends in Highwood. That's what I said. I'm not one of those guys.
I know who those are.
I'll knock you out. Didn't stiff you.
They're at the bocce.
Okay. I don't know. You always try to pull one, Tommy, but he doesn't realize Southside's in the room.
Yeah, Southside.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I left my coffee on a shelf in the garage. I was so mad.
Why'd you do that, Cap?
I was trying to balance a bunch of stuff to get in the car,
He's a juggler.
and I set the coffee down so I wouldn't spill it. I backed out. I got on the Edens.
You know,
and
if you just brought a damn bag, you wouldn't have to do all that.
You know, he brings a bag every morning.
Why this too? Travis was telling us the yesterday too. He was busting your balls, and he felt really very good about it. You said something to the effect of, "How's your day going?" And Travis looked at you as you were leaving and go, "Better now that you're leaving the building," which was a great line.
It was.
But why do you leave your headset in their office every day?
Where am I going to leave it? I don't want some
Don't you have an
mangy
office?
person in here using it.
First of all, you're calling your coworkers mangy people.
I just don't know who comes through here. What guest with the sweaty head?
Knock him out, Jonathan. Knock him out.
I don't want someone using my headset. That's A.
Jed Hoyer
B, I don't have an office.
Next
Period.
on Cap and